Okay guys, a quick run through of the working template files, how to use them for your presentation purposes here. As you can see, I just made a little simple mock-up here. Your album cover design hopefully is much more interesting than this one, but this is just a basic template to use to get us rolling here. Okay, so I'm going to show you, when you do your main 12 by 12, even though you'll scale it down to 10 by 10, that's kind of the starting point of your whole project, right? Is that front cover expressive type, title design, and then how you incorporate the artist name. You might have other elements too, like a volume 1 or a graded, or like, I don't know, greatest hits, whatever you want to have, as long as that's, again, sub to the main title, and there's clear hierarchy where the main title is the kind of the rock star of the whole thing. That's our main focus, okay? So I just have a couple illustrated versions of that. If you do have a white background, you might want to go ahead and even though when you're making it on the white page, you don't need the white background. When you do bring it into Illustrator, or you're going to copy and paste it into Photoshop or anything, do have a white fill. I put a black stroke on it here too, so when we bring it into our template, it's defined on the page. And we can also do that in InDesign, but I just figured might as well do it here. And also it's easier too if everything is grouped, so make sure you Command G that, or Control G that. It's just object group, okay? So everything is grouped. So like I have a couple options for the album cover we'll play with here. And I did, so here's the template, the AI template for the label design. I just threw some type in there, masked some type into that as a quick mock-up here. When we take it into, you'll have it here with the little circle in the middle when you have that in the first page of the template, the presentation template. When we go into page 2 and we put it into the context of the record cover with the, the sleeve with the record coming out, we won't need this little center hole there, but we will have that in our on our page 1. So when you go to, let's say you want to copy and paste this into Photoshop, into our template, which I'll show you here, you don't need to worry about that, just the circle element here, okay? So on that note, let's jump into the vinyl record PSD mockup. The only thing you need to worry about, again, don't worry about the JPEG, just open up this vinyl record mockup, and here you go. It's pretty simple. You're going to have, I locked the background layer there. If you wanted to change the color, you can add unlock that layer, or you can change the background color here. It's your call. Primarily right now, we're more concerned with the cover design. All you're going to do, there's a clear layer that says your design here, okay? And you're just going to double click on this little window here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my album cover here. I'm going to just go ahead and grab this. Again, it's grouped all together. I'm going to Command C that, okay, edit copy. And then I'm going to go into Photoshop here. I'm going to double click on this your design here layer. And I'm going to pop it right in there, Command V. I'm going to paste it as a smart object. And then I'm going to scale it up to fit in this space, okay? And because they're both square, you should be able to scale, holding shift, of course, please hold shift. You should be able to scale it up, by the corners. In Photoshop, you want to drag by the corners and have that line up pretty much where you need it to be, okay? That's about it. Now hit save, Command S for me. And when you go back into your, so you have it, when I double clicked on that, it opened up a new tab, which is what we're working on now. Click back on this tab after you save, and there's your album cover, okay? It's that simple. So you can just close up that little group there, the cover folder, the cover group, go back down now here to vinyl. And again, same thing. You don't have to worry about any of this stuff down here. Just double click on this, your design here. I'm gonna go into my template here. I'm gonna copy, Command C, go into here. I'm gonna paste this into here as a smart object. Smart object will allow me to continue to scale it without losing resolution. There's a little safe area here, which you may wanna turn on. And that shows you essentially where you can, how far you can scale up. So I'm going to go back up here. I'm going to hit Command T, or I guess it's Control T on a Windows machine. Command T, which allows me to scale. And again, using Shift and grabbing these corners, I'm going to scale it up into this zone here. Okay. That's pretty close. I might even go a little bit past it. And you can always, if you don't get it exactly how you want it first, you can go back and tweak. Now I double click and I hit save, Command S. And again, now I go back to my main. You can see it opened in the second tab here. Just go back to your vinyl record mockup tablet or tab, and there you have it. Okay. If these aren't lining up exactly how you want them to be, just go ahead and click back into those areas and push them around or scale them or do whatever you want to do. Okay. But that's essentially it. You always have to save every time you make a change in here. Hit save, and it'll show up in here. Okay. It's that easy, and it's pretty similar for the other templates, but we'll go ahead and look at those. So when you're done with that, I would save that. Okay. And then what I would do, when you get it exactly how you want it, go to flatten, okay? Go to image mode and make it a CMYK image, okay? Just hit okay. And then go to file, save as, and you're gonna have, it was a PSD, make it into a TIFF. And I would just save it into the links folder. Okay, so even though the links were for the template, these are all just the basic, example files for the main template. I would save it in that links folder so you know where it is. I would then hit save, okay, and then I would hit okay. And now you have a flattened TIFF in CMYK, which is what you want to be able to bring into the main template, okay? So that is that.